What if him and Sabretooth just went off somewhere nice together and had a lovely time? A picnic?
What do you think they talk about?
Yeah, that'd be a good ending.
What do you mean? Sabretooth, he's sweeter than people think he is. Everybody says he's a big, scary old monster, but inside he's got a heart. Lots of hearts, actually, because he eats people.
He certainly does. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Smart Avengers. My name is Corey, and with me is Dylan and John. How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Yo.
So today's episode, we are going to craft... well, I'll tell you the origin of the episode. Basically, Scott Snyder is a writer for DC Comics, and right now he seemingly is doing like storylines for 13-year-old boys, in the sense that all of his ideas are very much like absolute Batman. Like, what if Batman was 7 foot tall and built like a shit brick house, and fought a 12-foot tall Bane, and who was also super massive as well, and his bat symbol is a battle axe, and he's like crazier than normal, and he doesn't have any money. Wouldn't that be a great idea? One of his other storylines that he's doing an event called DCKO, where for reasons that have yet to be revealed that I'm aware of, all of the heroes, and I think maybe some villains in the DC, it's definitely some villains in the DC world, are pitted against one another in basically a fighting tournament, with the a winner being crowned at the very end. And I saw this bracket that they revealed of who was going to be fighting who in this comic, and I took it to you guys and said, hey, we could do an episode where we just pick the bracket, like who do we think is going to win DCKO, and then like somehow, some way that turned into us creating our own bracket. I don't know how that happened, because one seems sufficiently easier than the other.
No. We're not riding on anybody else's coattails here, man. We're making our own bracket. That guy made his own mug bracket for mugs. We're different, man. We do things the Smart Avengers way, a.k.a. the complicated way.
Yeah.
Making it harder for ourselves.
I think we can agree that it's very complicated. Yes. Needlessly complicated, you could say.
So, yes, we are creating our own bracket, our own tournament. But we're not just going to do DC. We're going to do DC and Marvel. So, for you guys, if you're not familiar, traditionally when Americans think of brackets, they think of the NCAA winter-spring basketball tournament, the March Madness tournament, where 64 teams go against one another, and it's broken up into 4 major quadrants, with ultimately 2 winners of sides facing each other in the finals. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have ultimately 64 people. We're going to have a Marvel side and a DC side, and we don't know how many episodes this will be. This could be 5 episodes long, depending on how things go. I don't know. But
I'd say closer to 10.
Closer to 10? Oh, Jesus. All right, well, without further ado, we should probably go ahead and potentially get started. So today we're going to be determining our 16 Marvel heroes, because the way we're going to break up our quadrants is we're going to have Marvel heroes and Marvel villains on one side, DC heroes and DC villains on the other. That way, in our finals, we get our winner from the Marvel side versus our winner from the DC side. And the beauty of us being a 3-person team is that we shouldn't have ties. So when it comes time to actually picking who should win, we will have, majority rule on vote. So that'll be that. Any questions before we get started?
Did I make a prediction as to who I think is going to win the
Marvel versus DC
villain side?
The villain side.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even picked the villains yet.
I have a feeling that I know he's going to win.
Sugar Man. Baby Juggernaut.
What if I write my prediction down so that if it happens, I can reveal it and go, this is what I think.
There you go. Yeah. Write it down, seal it in an envelope.
No, I'm going to write it down, and I'll tell you why I'm going to write it down. I'll show you exactly what page I'm going to write it down on. I'm going to write it down on this innocent-looking page right here, so that whenever I show you what the answer is, I'll have to look at this page.
So for our audio listeners,
it also means It also means you're not going to be able to see this page again until I reveal the winner. So take a good look.
That's the real shame on that one. So for our audio listeners, the picture, the page in question has the infamous drawing of Sugar Man and MODOK embracing one another romantically.
Not a whole lot of romance going on in that. I
They
gotta
can't.
say.
They can't face each other in the bracket because if so, I mean, there's no winner.
You want to start?
I will start. I think the easiest one to start with on the Marvel side is probably Iron Man. Iron Man kickstarted the MCU and kind of became one of the more iconic characters since 2008 for that reason.
Okay.
Do you feel like Iron Man has a spot in this in one of the 16?
Yes, I think now he does. I agree that he did kickstart the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, even though he wasn't the first Marvel film. But like, he's still been a pivotal member of the Avengers, and he had, his own comic, he had his own TV show that we all remember very fondly. Um, yeah, Iron Man's a good pick. Interesting that
Yeah.
you went straight for Iron Man because I knew who I was gonna say. I'm like, oh, Corey's gonna pick this guy.
That's why I didn't, because I had a
didn't.
feeling I knew who you were going to say. So I went for like second pick.
Pretty obvious. I was gonna say Gambit, but
Oh. That was not who I was thinking you
We'll
were going
get
to
to me
say.
in a sec. What?
Uh,
Why not?
John, do you have any hard feelings on Iron Man being one of the 16 names?
I mean, at the moment, no.
Okay.
I don't see any issues with it, but like, I don't know. Depends on who else we pick and who needs to be left on the chopping block, I guess.
Okay.
Right. I mean, if we had to choose between Gambit and Iron Man, it's an easy call.
Yeah.
It's an easy call. Easy. So
All right.
we all know he's gonna win now.
So Dylan, you're writing these down. So your second pick,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
I think we already know who it is.
Obviously, Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Spider-Man. Like, and we don't even. I don't think we have to debate it because everybody's like, yeah, it's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Spider-Man is fucking. He's everywhere. Everybody knows one of the most popular, if not the most popular Marvel character. He's everywhere. He's in every single Marvel branded anything. Do you know what I mean? There's 4 different film versions of Spider-Man, 5 different versions of Spider-Man. He's very popular. He's been in Japanese,
Yep.
which we've seen many
Couple
episodes
episodes,
of.
yeah.
It's got to be Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the reason why I didn't want to take Spider-Man away from you, because I knew that he's your boy, so that's why I went with Iron Man first.
Yeah. I mean, John, what do you think about Spider-Man?
I think he is the most obvious choice that we could put in, and sometimes obvious is good. Let's go.
Right. I think that we're gonna get a lot of obvious ones out of the way really quickly, and then after a while, there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be some real wild cards in there, which
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. So let's get the obvious ones out of the way first, so we
Yes.
get into the debates of the wild cards.
All right, so John, that is you next.
Okie doke. So I will suggest Wolverine.
Yep.
Like the ubiquitous X-Men Avenger. He's been in everything. And yeah, obviously pretty handy with his claws as well. See what I did there? Yeah, so Wolverine.
But also, if you're bracketing it, like having a, you're talking about people here, like the best fighters or whatever. Obviously, we're doing a tournament to fight people against people. Wolverine's a top class fighter, like world class. Like he's one of the best physical fighters you have, like hand to hand, lot of claw combat guys. So if you're thinking about it from a purely bracket versus bracket like fight scenario, Wolverine's a classic choice.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with selecting him. I mean, honestly, I feel like Wolverine would have been top 2 if I hadn't gone first.
Yeah, I believe it would have been Spider-Man then Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the proper order. But again, I didn't want to steal anyone's thunder. You mentioned when we get into the debate portion, there are some characters who have switched alignments that I think will be interesting to decide what bracket are they going to fall in. So
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, so I guess look? I mean, it's my turn. Do you want to go ahead and broach that subject?
You're really pushing for Sabretooth here, aren't you?
No, no.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing for Sabretooth. I don't want to steal a pick from John, but I wasn't sure if John was going to approach it this way. Magneto. We had a whole episode about how hard it is to kill him. He's been a hero for, 10, 15 years now. He's been a hero previously. He's been a villain for a long time as well. So do you put Magneto in the hero camp or the villain camp? He's kind of a spoiler in that sense.
That's interesting. Because for me, like, just naturally, as I think of Magneto, I always think of him as a villain. I think he's a classic, quintessential, beautiful villain, perfect foil for the X-Men. It all works really, really well. He can be a guy with, like, shades of gray or whatever, but for me, I've always thought of him as a proper, good villain. And that's not a bad thing. Like, you want a big, strong, really impactful, important villain. That's why we all love Magneto, because he's fucking great at being a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, they've turned him and they've made him good and stuff. People can like him even more now. They're like, oh, great, he's a good guy now. We like him now. But for me, I would put Magneto in the villain camp.
John.
I think I kind of agree as well, just because I think he spent more years as a villain than he has as a good guy.
I mean,
that's got to count for something.
30, I mean, if we're rounding up 30 years that I know of, 60s, 70s, part way through the 80s, he joined New Mutants, and then villain again throughout the 90s. And then I think he recently, it was like in the 2010s when he became good. So yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I just wanted to... Oh, go ahead.
I would like to put something forward as well. If you think about, like, what Magneto did as a villain, like, he's got so many, like, great, like, moments of him being a villain. But as a hero, like, what's a big, like... It's a big Magneto moment.
We've already had this debate. We don't need to go into it again.
Yeah. We've done episodes about this.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, we've done 3 episodes about Magneto, right? No, 2. Just 2.
We'll get to a third one.
We'll get to a third one. All right, well, if that's the case, then my pick would be Captain America. Captain America, longest running member of the Avengers, led the team multiple times. Solo book, big runs in the solo series. 4 movies with 3 movies with Chris Evans that were solo movies, and then the others he filled in as ensemble. And I mean, I don't want to get into politics or debate or anything like that, but the Captain America movie where he wasn't Captain America, Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America, it didn't do as well.
All right. I think if you're thinking about, like, Marvel heavy hitters, not just most recognizable, but, like, the guys that you would reliably go to in a Marvel comic. If you lived in the real Marvel universe and there was a big crisis and you called Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America, all 4 of those make sense.
You're good.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are, like, the top rungs of guys you're going to call. Captain America is, like, up there. I think Captain America is a fair shot.
Oh, yeah. And one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe as well.
So, and just to be specific, we are talking about Steve Rogers. Just like we're talking about Peter Parker, just like we're talking about Logan, and just like we're talking, well, I mean, except for that period of time where James Rhodes was Iron Man, it's pretty much been Tony Stark the whole time.
What?
Yeah, right?
Tony Stark was Iron Man?
Well, yeah, no, it
wasn't just his bodyguard.
Yeah.
What?
I remember. I think that was my favorite thing about the first movies when they were like gonna go like, oh yeah, it's just say that Iron Man's your bodyguard. Anyway, yes. That would Dylan, it would be your turn next if we're gonna put Steve Rogers in the tournament.
Okay. I'm gonna think like super obvious. If we're talking about heavy hitters, if we're talking about big, impactful guys in the Marvel Universe, I feel like nobody hits as heavy as the Hulk, right? If you're in a fight, maybe not the most reliable guy because he's a bit random, but if you're talking about a bracket like this, where he doesn't have to work in a team, Hulk is like, he's got to be on that list, right? He'll just beat the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you write up a list of all the other people you know, you look at like Iron Man. Oh, he's got weaknesses. Wolverine, Spider-Man, they have weaknesses. The Hulk is just gonna beat the fuck out of people. Really, you know. He doesn't have a game plan. His game plan is he's got a big fist. He's gonna hit you with it, and it's gonna really fucking hurt.
This is raw
You know what
emotion.
I mean, yeah, just like punch. Like it doesn't have to be complicated. Some days it's just punch. You know, it's just punch.
I have no issues with Bruce Banner being on the board.
Yep,
Yeah.
same.
Although it does,
No issues whatsoever.
it does remind me how much I really don't care for what the MCU has done with Hulk, because I think a lot of that has to do with, I don't know. I don't know if Mark Ruffalo, the reason why Hulk never had a solo movie after Edward Norton is that they didn't think that Ruffalo could carry one by himself. I don't think that's out of the question. I like Mark Ruffalo, but I don't know if you're seeing an action movie. I don't think you're seeing an action movie with him as the lead.
Well, I think you could do it because a lot of it's gonna be CGI anyway.
I think it's a problem,
So-
though. I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, Edward Norton, it worked. And I don't know how much of that was just because it's Edward Norton. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. I like Ruffalo. I've loved him in other things. For some reason, I've just never cared for him as Hulk.
I mean, like for the record, I've never like been in love with the Hulk as a character. You know, I never.
Dylan,
was,
he's
like,
your second
super
pick.
into him. I actually liked him. But I'm saying if you're going like by, if we're talking about pure violence and strength
Yeah.
or whatever, like in a tournament, you'd be stupid to not pick him.
Mhm.
But I'm just like the fact that I'm picking him, even despite never being like a huge fan of the Hulk, shows like what kind of a character he is on a bracket like this. You know,
There you go.
we all know why the Hulk is there.
John, do you disagree with Bruce Banner?
Not in the slightest.
Okay. So it is
These
your
are all
turn
pretty
next.
obvious so far.
So I was thinking next up could be Thor,
Mhm.
God of Thunder. Been around for a long time. He obviously had a few scraps over the years. And yeah, he's got a big mallet with which to hit people with as well. So
Keep it simple.
Okay.
I think I agree with that. Like Thor, again, one of those recognizable guys, big heavy hitter, strong guy. If you're picking a team, he's a good guy to have on the team. He's a good fighter, reliable. Yeah, I think Thor is a good pick.
Okay. Same. No disagreements on that.
Nope.
So next picks are halfway point. This is going pretty quick. That's why we'll when we get through our initial pass, we need to start looking at like, all right, are we missing anybody that we feel like could be obvious? I feel like we have not included any women into the list yet. My next pick, I'm going to change for that reason. I'm going to go with Scarlet Witch. We get magic. We get another mutant on the board. She's insanely powerful, and that's what makes her kind of unstable. And I think that's kind of what makes her a little more dangerous than your other run-of-the-mill heroes.
Okay, that's interesting. It's an interesting pick. You know, have we gone past like the clearly obvious ones?
I don't know if we
Already?
have. I feel like there's a couple other ones, but like I was kind of just thinking like I think that we do need to. I want to make sure that we do have some female characters on the list because I know there's going to be female characters like on the DC side as well, and just out of the sake of fairness and equality, I suppose. But also, we also can't ignore the fact that she alters reality.
Yes. I mean, I would have said that there's definitely going to be some picks later on.
Yeah.
We'll argue about that would be women.
Yeah.
But Scarlet Witch is a good call because, like you said, she is very, very powerful. She fucking got rid of 90% of the mutants in the world instantly. There's a lot going on there. Like that's pretty powerful stuff. So I have no problem with Scarlet Witch.
Maybe not like a fighter in the traditional sense, but then her power set and everything makes her pretty formidable. Like this isn't going to be just coming down to who can punch the hardest or whatever. It's
Yeah.
There's going to be like more cerebral stuff going on there. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally happy with Scarlet Witch being involved.
Okay.
Very tricky, and like that adds like a whole different layer to who she goes up against. Because if she does go up against like a pure brawler or something, she's gonna have the advantage because she doesn't use her fists. She can just do everything else that's not fighting with her fists.
Yeah, I mean, do you think she could stand? Do you think she could go against the Hulk? Is really the question. I mean, if her whole deal is about manipulating you psychologically with magic and altering reality, she might be the loophole in the Hulk plan.
Right. Like, if you think about that, the Hulk's basic strength is just being able to punch stuff. So if she just like manipulates reality around him, where he gets confused and can't punch anything, he doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So, but we'll cross that.
We'll get there.
We'll get to it.
All right. So Dylan, 8th pick.
Okay. So I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this one, but I'm gonna pick Deadpool because he's cool. He's got swords and guns, double whammy. He's got a healing factor. He's also an incredibly good fighter. He has that kind of unpredictability to him where it's hard to be able to fight him. Like even Taskmaster can't really fight him properly because he doesn't know how he's gonna move. This Deadpool moves in his own. You can't predict him. It's unpredictable, literally. And so I think as a wild card, as a guy that you don't know how to be able to properly stop Deadpool, he has a habit of winning despite insurmountable odds just because he is Deadpool. So I think he would be a good pick.
I don't necessarily disagree.
Plus, again, good fighter, good hand, you know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. He's gonna be hard to kill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think maybe
Happy
what
to
we
have Deadpool?
do, I think what we do is maybe we push the list to 20, and then we fight for those 16 spots because I feel like we can definitely keep going. So John,
I have a couple of wild cards in the back of my mind that I want to shoot out, but let's go.
I'm gonna go for Storm
Good pick.
because
Okay.
obviously she's a pretty powerful mutant in her own right. But like even when she's lost her powers, she's proven to be like a really good fighter as well. So yeah, I think she ticks a lot of the boxes.
Storm would have been my next pick, so I am 100% aboard.
She was on the list.
I think
for me
again,
too.
it's no secret. It's no secret how much all of us love Storm. This has been well documented, like 4 different episodes.
We've had a lot of episodes where like we've either fought over Storm or we ranked her really high.
Who doesn't love Storm? Leave a comment on YouTube if you don't like Storm, so we can block you because we don't.
Yeah.
Storm's amazing, and I think whenever you were like, "Well, put Scarlet Witch in because it's good," like as soon as you said that, I'm like, "I'm gonna vote for Storm at some point." So a woman's definitely gonna be on the show. But I think Storm's a great shot. Again, like when you think about the X-Men, like again, really recognizable, really strong, really iconic. Really, like properly. There's 17 million X-Men, and she's one of like the most iconic ones. Like,
She's definitely top 5. If you had to rank every X-Men that ever existed, she's top 5 easily.
right up there. Yeah, exactly. So I think Storm's a great shot. I'm happy we went for Storm.
Absolutely. All right, next one for the sake of a little bit of chaos. This is a character that a lot of people don't think about because it's been years and years and years before they did anything really prominent with them. But a character with very well documented strengths and power, Black Bolt.
Ooh. Okay.
So for those listening, we've never talked about Black Bolt because we never talk about the Inhumans, and that's a reason why, because Marvel doesn't give a shit about the Inhumans ever since they failed as a TV show. But Black Bolt, of course, has enhanced durability, enhanced strength, and also the sound of his voice can level mountains. And that's just with a whisper, you know? So Black Bolt's a nuclear option for sure.
I feel like we can do better than Black Bolt.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, like Black Bolt, Can we put Black Bolt in like the maybe pile?
I mean, Black Bolt's on the list, and that's why I said
Right.
we'll have to whittle the list down.
Okay, so you're happy. So he's a guy that could be taken off at some point.
If we can, yeah, I think that's one of those
Good.
things that, like, depending on the list that we get afterwards, if we start whittling him down, I think that Black Bolt stands to be removed. I think from a sheer power level, though, he's very strong. And that makes him tough.
I think he is right. He is, but again, how can you talk us into liking Black Bolt on that list, other than saying he's really strong?
I mean, it's not so much the strength, so much as just it's the voice aspect of it. I mean, like I said, I mean, he's, led the Inhumans as their king for, since his inception. I think really the fact that the Inhumans being as reclusive as they are and have always been is why they, when they created Black Bolt, they made him so powerful, because they're like, oh, we won't use him very often. Because if we did, I feel like you would run a chance of, like, a lot of these problems would either be made better or worse by Black Bolt's inclusion. Because again, if he says a word, he's gonna blow some shit up. I mean, if you get him into a fight, I think and I think unfortunately because he is so powerful, they've had to, like, use him as the example whenever they want to just show something like, oh, this is a big threat. Here's how this character is going to get around, or, Black Bolt's voice, or this is how they're going to, show how tough they are by withstanding Black Bolt's voice. And I don't know. It always felt a little weird to me, and it's like, we're just going to weaken him for the sake of trying to show that someone's tougher.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Black Bolt, if you ever saw Multiverse of Madness, Scarlet Witch takes care of him pretty easily. So
She also did the same thing to
not
every other character on the Illuminati, though. Mr. Fantastic, Xavier.
Which means
So we're not going to
be
put
surprised
none
if
of the
we don't
Illuminati's
pick any
going
of
on the
those
list.
None of the Illuminati are on the list.
Yet. So none of the Illuminati are going to be on the list. Namor, T'Challa, nothing.
Honestly, I don't think any of those would have been.
You wouldn't put...
Wait, Tony Stark was
Tony Stark
was on the Illuminati, wasn't he?
He wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, but not in the movie version.
Not in the movie, but in the comics.
We're talking about
yeah.
the movie... Okay, so
Yeah.
we're talking about the movie versions? Or the comic book versions?
Well, we're talking pretty general.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because Tony wasn't in the film, we can't say whether or not Scarlet Witch would have beat the shit out of him. I suspect
Probably
she
would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she did handle everyone else pretty handily. A smug rich asshole in a suit of armor probably wasn't going to stand much better chance. But if anything, doesn't that just reinforce Scarlet Witch's inclusion on the list then? So I suppose that if
Correct.
anything, we've done that.
Yes, and we've significantly diminished Black Bolt's inclusion on the list. But
All right, so if that's
he's on the
case,
list for now.
All right, so Black Bolt's on the list for now, but definitely there's room for debate if we get over 14 names, and there's others that we like more.
Yeah.
Or 16 names, and there's others we like more.
I gotta say, as wildcards go, I did not see Black Bolt going on the list, so I gotta say, commendable.
Thank
for
you.
Picking.
Might have been a content play, is what that was. That might have been a content play.
Hey man, I got some of those coming up too. So it's a part of this is listening to us argue about shit. So you want.
All right, so Dylan, you're up next.
All right, I don't know if this one is gonna be controversial, but again, if you're talking about like pure like power level and what they're able to do, like unchecked and unrivaled, I would say, Nate Gray.
Oh.
The
Okay.
X-Man. If you think he's supposedly like a perfect version of Cable, unattached to the virus, the techno-organic virus, is full. He is what Cable could be if he wasn't like tied down with that virus. He doesn't even need guns. He can like warp reality and just change things on a whim. He can manipulate minds. He's like telepathic and telekinetic. He has like immense psychic powers. Like he can go to the astral plane on a different level. He is an incredibly powerful character. Again, not using fists, and kicks and stuff like that. But from a pure like just vastly powerful level, Nate Gray is like up there. He's got to be one of the most powerful people, certainly in the X-Men world. Although they keep changing what an Omega level mutant is, like
Yeah.
he can manipulate ice, I'm like blah 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 blah. You know, but Nate Gray can do like fucking anything he wants to. You know, obviously not. That's hyperbole, but you know what I mean. Like he's incredibly powerful. And I think he's a character that like you don't see that often anymore because once you write in a character that's so incredibly powerful, it's hard to do stuff with them because the answer is either Nick Gray stops him,
Yeah.
or Nick Gray's the problem. How do you stop him? You
Yeah,
know, there's those are the two.
He fucked off. He was busy doing something that day.
Yeah. Why was Nick Gray there? Oh, he was doing his taxes, right?
Just picking up the kids from soccer practice.
But I yeah, he had to take his dog to the vet. Dog got real sick. He could have fixed it, sure, but he liked to give the vet something to do. You know, keep him in business.
He
He's
went
a
to
good
school.
guy,
He went
Nick
to
Gray.
school. You know, the guy worked hard for that degree.
Great guy. Exactly. You don't want to just solve all his problems. He wouldn't learn anything that way. You know. So I'm gonna say Nick Gray.
I like Nate Gray. What's gonna worry me
The
is
silence is real.
No. What worries me a little bit is we're gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, cool, but like, at what point does someone become so powerful that why even have the tournament? You know, because like you could put Phoenix on there. Phoenix destroyed an entire like solar system or whatever. They're like, all right, so it's the Phoenix versus Black Bolt.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, It's like, yeah, like, damn. It's like, at what point do we need a cap on, like, ability?
I mean, Nate Gray and Spider-Man did fight.
How'd that go?
Don't worry about that.
So yeah.
Let's say even.
So should there be, like, a rule on cosmic beings? Because, like, you put, like, Galactus on the list,
Well, yes. I mean, the thing is, I wasn't going to start picking people like that because I feel like that's cheating.
Because, I mean, immediately I
fair.
thought was, like, I guess Phoenix, she's Alpha. Or Omega, whatever.
I was not gonna, I would have picked Jean Grey, not that I am going to, but I'm saying I would have picked Jean Grey, but not the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Phoenix is a different entity, but Jean Grey makes sense. Also, you could argue, I don't know if the Phoenix was a hero. Killed a lot of people.
I don't know, she's doing pretty well with her right now in her solo book, from what I understand.
Well, she's trying to redeem herself, Magneto also probably killed a lot of people, so, gray area. But
We got turned into a baby.
I mean,
so it's
if you
fine.
want if you want to establish that rule where we kind of like set some kind of like power limit and like disqualify Nick Gray, I don't mind that because I understand where you're coming from. Like, not there has to be at some point a limit, but then again, if you have Scarlet Witch on it, like we've just said, the thing about Scarlet Witch is she can just fucking eliminate everybody. And
True.
Scarlet Witch versus Nick Gray would be a good.
That'd be
would be a good matchup.
I guess the thing is, like, how detrimental is their weakness to them? Like, Scarlet Witch notoriously very mentally unstable at times. Like, that's something that could be used against her potentially.
Well, I think
Nate
part
Gray
of the hubris
does Nate Gray have some sort of like weakness that could be exploited and like give someone like Spider-Man an opportunity to beat him?
Yes, because I think from what I've read of Nick Gray, and I haven't read a lot of the recent stuff, but part of the thing that him and Spider-Man had was that he was quite young and immature and had this view on the world that was a very kind of singular and kind of not basic, but he would like, I'm doing good stuff, and you're like, well, you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're being very close-minded about the things you're doing. You might have good intentions with it, but you're not thinking of the bigger picture. So the Spider-Man, who has a lot of experience with being a bum and living life and hardships and stuff, was able to use his own experience in just having lived a different life than Nick Gray has, because he's very young and arrogant and not selfish, but he has a lot of problems that come with not having enough worldly experience that can be taken advantage of. Whereas Spider-Man has had the shit kicked out of him so many times that he has the advantage of knowing what it's like to be, on the bottom of everybody's shoe. Nick Gray doesn't have that. He's used to being at the top of the echelon. So, for example, if he was to go against Scarlet Witch, he's never fought somebody like that before. It's a totally different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
John, what are your thoughts on
so
X-Man?
I think
I share some of your concerns that he may be too powerful for this, but I guess we'll see.
All right.
Okay, John, let me put it to you this way. Who would you rather see on the list? X-Man or Black Bolt?
I mean,
I don't
Immortal
really
Man.
want either of them on the list.
Immortal Man hasn't been added
can
to the
answer that
list
later.
yet, so I mean, guy who can't die.
3D Man hasn't been out of the list yet.
Triathlon, yeah. Everyone's favorite
I'm gonna write
auction final spin.
I thought you
I'm
said
gonna write
He-Man
Nick Gray for
first.
now, okay?
Yeah, no, he's on the list. Like you said, we're
I'm
gonna
adding-
go. We'll whittle the list down to 16.
Yeah.
So John, it is your
Okay.
turn.
Well, after just saying about how I'm not sure if we should be putting all these super powerful people on the list, I am going to go for the Carol Danvers version of Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
It's pretty powerful. She
Yep.
can fly, she can go in space, she can hit people really hard. She can shoot
Yep.
bolts of energy and stuff. So
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
she's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I don't think she's near that kind of like weird Nate Gray-ish territory.
It's a different kind of power set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it? You know what I mean?
hers is
She's still
hers is more
incredibly
direct.
powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, more scrappy. But I like the idea of that, like, the tournament shouldn't just be all, like, hand-to-hand fighters.
Mhm.
I like the idea that there's variety. Like Street Fighter, if they were all Ryu, that would suck. But it's not. You have, like, you have Zangief, they control differently, and Bison. They're all different
Dan
characters
Hibiki.
that have different...
Kid Masters.
Yeah.
Who?
You're gonna have Cody Rhodes.
Dan. Yeah, I think Black Bolt is our Dan, right? So he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's our Dan Hibiki. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're,
Yeah, absolutely. It's variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, I think Captain Marvel is I'm okay with that. Yeah.
I'm surprised she wasn't
I
on
have
the
no
list sooner.
issues.
But I mean, she's number 12, so
Interesting.
that's not terrible.
Yeah.
My next pick, in that sort of same realm of he has shown experience with hand-to-hand combat, but mostly known for mastering the mystic arts, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Again, very different power set than everyone else. A lot of experience dealing with interdimensional beings and threats. So he's coming with a whole other series of experiences that nobody else will have had.
I think it makes sense. Again, Doctor Strange, he attacks things from like a different point of view. It's not just like hand-to-hand combat, but it's not even just like warping reality or whatever. It's like this magic side of it is totally different. A lot of people might not be able to react to or have experience with. Like, there's a handful of guys on here that would have experience with magic dealers that other people wouldn't have. Iron Man used to fight the Mandarin. He gets that.
Yep.
Spider-Man and Doctor Strange work together. But, like, does Deadpool know a lot about magic? I don't know. Stuff like that. That's an interesting pick. But I feel like in terms of, especially if you're going like Marvel cinematic universe, Doctor Strange is a big hitter.
Any thoughts, John?
I dig it.
Okay. All All right,
Yeah,
Dylan.
the fact that he brings like a different power set is pretty good. So let's go with it.
All right, Dylan, you're up.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to say, if you wanted us to go to 20, but if we go to 21, then all of us will get
Yeah,
an
that's
extra
fine.
pick.
Yeah, we'll go to 21.
3 of us. So if we go to
And then-
20,
Yeah, we'll do
if we go to
21.
20, John doesn't get an
That's it.
extra
Luck of the draw. Your name should have come before D.
Should have been called Albert. I fucked it.
Ah, man.
My next pick is Albert. But so what I did, what I fucking picked Albert, and like, what do you think?
He's a robot, you
Off
know?
we go.
He's the robot of Wolverine.
Who's gonna beat up a robot? Nobody. How do you beat a robot? It's
You can't.
impossible.
It can be done.
Yes. Every single person on this list could easily
It's
beat a
definitely
robot.
beat up a robot at least once. some multiples at the same time.
Some of them have beaten up Albert already, so it's
You can't be beat.
maybe not a good pick.
He's Albert.
What do you want? So whenever John said Captain Marvel, I was about to say, why don't you pick Rogue? Because Rogue has Captain Marvel's like, inherent skill set, but you can also steal other people's powers and stuff. But then I was like, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna wait till it's my turn, and then I'm gonna say Rogue.
There you go.
So I'm gonna say Rogue
You know,
because she's Captain Marvel, but also she's cool, and she goes up with Gambit. And not that Captain Marvel isn't cool, but you know what I mean. Like Rogue is cool. She's just a cool character. Like everything about her is cool. She's got a cool design, cool look.
people call her Moonbeam.
Cool like backstory. What?
People call her Moonbeam for some reason.
Listen, if I met Rogue in real life, I might call her Moonbeam, and then she beat the shit out of me. I'm like, thank you.
You know, you
Oh.
mentioned the ability to steal powers. I literally today saw someone had posted panels of, it might have been Uncanny Avengers. I'm not sure what book it was, but Rogue stole She-Hulk's powers and beat her in a fist fight, and then she lost control of the rage aspect of it, and went a little nuts. But that's again proof
Bingo.
that it doesn't have to be mutant powers for her to steal. She can steal anyone's powers.
Doesn't that add like a really interesting wrinkle to this entire thing, where like Rogue can not only have her own powers, but can just steal your powers and use them against you?
It's kind of
So
like,
isn't that suddenly like a game changer?
I mean, talking about like fighting games, it's kind of like facing like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, and he just turns into you and beats your ass using your powers and abilities. It's basically
Yes,
the same idea.
I mean, to go back to Street Fighter, in Street Fighter 3, there's a character called 12. His super is he just turns into you, so he can use your moves. And I'm like, well, that's you're fighting yourself. It's a whole different. And again, some of the people on here won't have experience with that. They won't, like, for example, do you think Nick Gray would be able to fight Rogue, who's stolen his powers? He wouldn't know how to deal with that. That's something totally new to him. That's the weakness for the a moment ago impossible to stop Nick Gray.
Yeah.
All it took was a cool ass Rogue
Girl
to
from
get in there,
Mississippi.
and she's changed the game. Southern woman changes the game. So what do you think about Rogue?
No, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah, I'm digging that choice.
I mean,
yeah.
we just literally had that argument last episode in our X-Men ranking where we put her in S tier for that reason. We're like, yeah, I mean, she could take your powers. That's fucking boss.
She's a fucking man, She's a woman. We should change that term to be woman.
Okay. So John, you're at 15 now.
I'll go for Black Panther, who's kind of similar, I guess, to Iron Man in that he's like a genius in a fancy suit. But like, I think he's got way better fighting skills than Tony Stark does. And maybe that gives him a slight edge as well. He doesn't have Tony Stark's ego as well, at least not as raging as Tony Stark has it anyway. But yeah, Black Panther.
He's got the resources. He's got like the
Vibranium.
he has that kind of like he's the king of like his own country. Like he has that kind of responsibility, that sense of like being able to do the right thing at the right time, But also we get the shit kicked out of him by Scarlet Witch, so
No, yeah, I have no
I mean,
issues.
I actually think that Black Panther's a good call. I think that's one of the ones we're all gonna be like, fair enough.
Of course,
isn't
yeah.
it?
No really argument there. It's like, of course.
Yeah. Fair enough, yeah.
All right, I have another weird
Let's
one.
make a lot of picks where we go, all right, yeah, fair enough,
I got another weird one for you that I know that I feel like one of you is going to be way more into than the other. But I think just because he comes from fighting at a completely different perspective than the other characters have, I want to say Daredevil.
Ooh.
I was gonna say Daredevil. So
See, that's my prediction.
100% in on
That was my prediction. The John would be fine with him. But yeah, no, he relies on different scents. Anything that's visual based, he's not going to really have a problem with. Like, I mean, that's kind of your. I mean, would Scarlet Witch's powers even really work on him? If it depends on if it's illusionary. If it's illusionary, he's not going to fucking see.
Yeah. Right. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Plus, he is a resilient motherfucker. He gets beat down all the fucking time and still bounces back and finds a way to win. So, yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah,
I don't think
tough.
a lot of people would have went with you two would have, but like if this was a different podcast with like other hack hosts, it wouldn't have gone dead. But we're different.
Mm-hmm.
We're different. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Okay,
That's a good
cool.
call.
Easy peasy then.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no! Do you guys want to debate a little bit more? What they think of something?
Yeah.
All right. So this is another one, and if this hasn't given you the idea or not, it's a freebie. We were talking about Magneto, whether or not you count him as a hero or villain. What about Sentry? Would you categorize Sentry as somebody who would be on the hero list or someone on the villain list? I mean, quite literally, he's kind of has to be both because of the Void. But every time he does something good, he has to do something bad to balance it out.
I mean, Sentry is a hero.
The Void isn't, and it's
The
the same
Void is
person.
a hero. But the Sentry is.
No. He's been manipulated too many times into doing villainous things.
Yeah.
Other heroes don't trust him because of the fact that he can just go off the rails so quick.
Then, if you're in a tournament, you don't need trust.
True.
Doesn't matter. So, I don't know. Should we put him in the maybe pile?
I mean, he's not on the list yet because
Yes.
nobody's picked him yet. Unless that's your pick, because you're picking Sentry.
Yeah. No.
Okay, then he's
it
not on the
wasn't.
list yet.
I have a really wild, like, out there pick that I don't think anybody's going to go with. And that's why I was thinking, like, should I pick somebody else?
No, go for it. We'll see what's up.
But, like, fuck it. It's our show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll do what we want, right? Some people aren't going to make the list.
Yeah.
We need to pat it out with some people.
I mean, we're going like
I'm gonna
Marvel.
pick a
Marvel Comics been around since 1960s, and we're literally picking 16 heroes. So yeah, there's a lot of people not making the list.
I'm going to pick somebody that I know both of you are going to disagree with, and you're not going to like it. It's a real wild card. And I don't think that in a million Sundays you would have even thought that I was going to pick this character. Okay?
A lot of build up.
Wait till Corey's finished drinking before.
So I don't spit on my computer.
This spit take.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Domino. Because she has her like luck-based powers, that means that whatever fight that she does get into, there's a really good chance that she'll just luck her way out of it and end up winning.
Well, or that she'll just luck
So
her way
if
out of
you
it and
put her in a
surviving. I mean, that's the other caveat. Is like she's gonna walk away, but I mean, is it because she survived or because she won? Here's the thing, I don't disagree with that pick. I don't disagree with that pick because Domino is. I love Domino for that reason. Now, the thing I do want to bring up to you though is, why Domino and not Longshot? Because Longshot has experience surviving literally everything that Mojo's ever thrown at him by using that plus sick knife skills.
Okay, cool. On the flip side, I like Domino better.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You don't like a mullet?
Right.
You don't like a mullet?
That is correct. I fucking hate a mullet. In fact, minus points to long shot.
That was there was a X, I think it was X-Force X Factor crossover in the 2010s where I think it was it was, I can't remember who it was. It was either Longshot and Domino or Longshot and Black Cat, and their powers kept canceling each other out, and like they were so aggravated with one another because of that reason. But yeah, no, I do not disagree.
I was thinking
with
about
Domino.
Black Cat. I thought Domino like seems like Black Cat seems much more like low level, like
Yes.
you know, like just like a petty crime kind of like.
Well,
she's not interested in this kind of thing at all. Like this
Domino's
is
a
no,
mercenary.
she's not
Yeah.
anywhere near this. Yes, Domino's much more like she has killed people, and she is in this kind of game, and she uses her luck-based powers to get her out of sticky situations and to kind of like help her be a mercenary. Like that's part of it. So I thought that power set, the idea that you could just win because of the other, you know, you could lose because the other person got lucky.
Yeah.
I just thought that's such. So again, Nick Gray could be the most powerful person in the world, but fucking, he could sip on a banana skin and Domino could win just out of sheer luck.
Sure.
You know, I find that an interesting wrinkle, kind of like the Daredevil thing, where you're like, he is a moveset, power set that other people wouldn't expect, wouldn't necessarily come up against. I think Domino's that kind of thing where like people are expecting to fight the Hulk, they're not expecting to fight Domino, and that's what's going to give her the edge, you know.
I'm fine with that, like you said.
But I also write down Domino knowing full well that she's going to get cut.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that. But no, I like Domino. I like Domino a lot just because I like the idea of the luck-based powers pulling her through. Again, she doesn't have a lot of control over how the luck manifests itself. She just has luck powers. So I mean, it could very well be like she draws the Hulk, but she just survives. She doesn't get smeared into the ground and left dead. You know.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah. John, do you have any strong thoughts on Domino?
I think she's a wild card. I mean, yeah, I think her power set creates some interesting potential situations in these fights. So I'm kind of leaning towards her more than like Black Bolt and Nate Gray. That's for sure.
There you go. All right, John, it is your pick. This is your penultimate pick. Yeah. So, John, this is your penultimate pick. We all have one more pick after this.
I will go for more of an anti-hero and say the Punisher.
Ooh.
Because he has a big arsenal of weapons which he can bust out and kill people with, and he's obviously pretty ruthless as well when it comes to fighting people. And yeah, I think he'd do pretty well in a situation like this.
Fair enough. I think Punisher's biggest.
I feel like that's a guy.
Oh, you go ahead, Dylan.
Well, that's a guy that's coming at things from a very different kind of point of view. Like, but the Hulk's coming at things with that very basic, like, I'm just gonna smash you with my fists. The Punisher, on the more obvious side, he's coming at it with like, I'm just gonna shoot you with guns. But there's a guy that like studies strategy and studies opponents and knows like the best way to take people down, and he's very like cerebral with that. He's not just a guy with guns. He thinks about stuff and he plans ahead. So that's actually like a very, very good pick if you think about it.
I am on the complete opposite end of the perspective. I think the Punisher's biggest asset is plot armor. Because I think if you put Punisher against any real villain, he is just a dude with guns. Like, yes, he does have combat, like military and combat training, but like so does everyone else for the most part. You know, like what's the difference between him and Brock Rumlow is that Crossbones wears a mask and his symbol on his shirt's the other bones and not just the skull. I would say that. I mean, I would say if we're going just straight power set, I mean Punisher versus Black Bolt, you know, because that's the one we keep going up against. Like Black Bolt's gonna absolutely waste him.
What if
Marvel,
if the Punisher, like I said, the Punisher's quite good at like being cerebral. He can easily distract Black Bolt with something, shoot him with some kind of like tranquilizer dart, and then just like slit his throat.
But yeah, I could also
Black
do
Bolt
that
hasn't
with.
done anything.
But I mean, he could do that to any character unless they had impervious skin, like the Hulk. But again, like you're saying, like
There you go.
Crossbones could do
That
that,
dude's
and that's what I'm
Wolverine.
going back to. I mean, Crossbones could do that.
Crossbones isn't a hero.
He's gonna be on the fucking villain list by the sound of it.
So put him on the villain list.
No, I mean Punisher's on the list, but I'm just saying, like, if we do have to start whittling him down, I think Punisher is one of the ones that I'm gonna try to remove because I don't think that. I think he would stick out like a sore thumb.
Okay. But he's on the list.
All right. So, is our last pick, are they going to be the most off the wall one that we have? Is the question. I think that should be.
It's up to you.
I think that should be part of the agreement. Is that the last pick has to be fucking Buck Wild?
Oh.
Because my off the wall pick is real off the fucking wall if that's the case. Because I know there's better ones. There's absolutely better ones we could do. I mean, for God's sake.
I think it should be somebody that you're willing to argue for. That's part of it.
Now, are we willing
You have to argue for this guy's. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I get what you're saying.
point of
I get
this
what you're saying.
bracket is we have to whip it down. You need to have a guy that you're willing to argue deserves to be on the 16th.
So not just
You need to pick somebody
not just for fun. I can't just say like Demolition Man.
And you absolutely can.
And just throwing
if
away.
you wanna
It's just throwing away
throw
pick at
that
that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just
doesn't
throwing it
matter.
away at that point.
Fucking whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, Steel Spider. Yeah, knock yourself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if we're going with a Marvel hero, I want to say Moon Knight because he's got basically his relationship with a god. He's batshit fucking crazy. He has shown many times he's just as durable as Daredevil, and the fact that he will just keep going no matter how much blood he loses or how many teeth gets knocked out. And he has tons of weapons and armor at his disposal as well. I know that that's not the most exciting pick in the world because I feel like he's in that territory of a Punisher and of a Daredevil. But if we're going to go with like old school rules, if it's a full moon, he has enhanced abilities. Which is always the weirdest thing for me. Well,
he's a Moon Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
Was this the weird character you were thinking of?
No. The weird one I was thinking of was Speedball.
Angel.
No, Speedball.
Oh.
Because kinetic powers, being able to bounce off of stuff, if you go and flip it to his penance persona, he can redirect pain back into attacks. So, like, the more you hurt him, the more he's going to hurt you back, that kind of deal. But that's the problem, is he's not been penance in a while.
Right, because it wasn't good.
I liked penance a lot. I thought it was a great Warren Ellis idea. Well.
John, what do you think of penance?
I quite liked it, to be fair. I've got
maybe.
no like sort of connection to Speedball as a character anyway, so that was pretty much where I know him from, is it as Penance.
I
could have got away with penance, dude.
I liked Speedball well enough. I was a little disappointed when they switched him back to Speedball after Penance, though. I feel like he could have stayed Penance. I thought it was a cool look. I liked the idea of, I get like, self-harm as a superpower, and him obviously being super depressed and dealing with a lot of anxiety wasn't ideal, but I don't know. I thought it was unique. I thought he looked unique. I thought it was good powers. It's kind of like Bishop, But like, what if Bishop was purposely putting himself in a place where he was constantly channeling his powers?
I think the Penance had more stuff to do than Speedball did.
Yeah.
Speedball is like kind of hard to take serious, and maybe Penance went too far the other way, where it's like
they shifted way too
he's
hard.
so the complete opposite
Edgelord,
that this
yeah.
is also hard to take seriously.
Yeah, it was real
Yeah.
edgy. Real edgy.
But like, but I agree with you in that it's really hard to go from that back to Speedball. Like, all right, you just got over it really quick. Is that how that works? Like, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, they
if that's
did
how that
try
works.
to explore that in a couple of different ways. Like, there was a mini series where basically people found out that he was Speedball, like, and a mob was going after him for it. Avengers Academy was all about him, like, trying to make amends while dealing with, you know, the PTSD that he had encountered from surviving the school bus explosion and all of his friends and those kids dying. I mean, they tried, but ultimately, at the end of the day, Marvel made the decision of Penance is going to go back to being Speedball.
Right, but this choice you could pick. You could keep him Penance. You know.
So okay, so if I could put it up, if
Hey,
I
it
could,
doesn't matter. We did pick a. You want to?
well, I was
swap?
gonna say, like, if it was you and your choice was Moon Knight or Penance, I feel like Penance is a very unique power set in comparison to Moon Knight, who I pointed out is already kind of like stepping on the toes of Black Panther, Daredevil, and Punisher.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
Do you want to switch?
I will switch. I'll put Penance.
Do you want to switch?
I would put Penance as my
Oh.
last pick. Now he ain't gonna make the list probably, but at least it's, you know, we have it listed.
At least you tried something different.
Yes.
That should be commended.
All right. So Dylan,
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
your last pick now.
Gambit.
Fair.
Gambit.
See, now
He's
I like
cool. He's got a cards stick.
anything he touches can explode.
Yep. Goes up rogue.
Yep. I
they
also
married?
feel like they are married.
They're married, yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like Gambit
Well,
also
he's still
has.
go wide, really.
I feel like Gambit has the ability to steal a couple of wins easily. I feel like people would underestimate him, and he's roguish enough that he could steal a couple. I'm not saying he could win
I
the whole
think
thing.
that Gambit's one of those guys. Oh. Yeah, but I think he's one of those guys that, like, at the start, they were kind of like, what do we do with this guy? And then, like, they've established him enough where you're like, he actually has a lot of upsides to him. You know, like, he's more powerful than you think he is, but he's also not, like, ridiculously overpowered. He has the potential where he could do, but there's a lot of stuff unexplored, still to this day, unexplored about his power set.
Yeah.
That makes you think that there's a lot more to him. The fact that he does go into a fight with a deck of cards whenever he could be using something like way heavier or way more expansive says a lot about him as a character as well.
So
you
this
know?
is gonna sound like a weird.
He can manipulate lots of other stuff.
I was gonna say. I actually forgot what I was gonna say. That's fine.
Right?
Oh, I was gonna point out
If you think,
they did Avengers when they did Avengers versus X-Men. They had him versus Captain America, and I am of the opinion they copped out because he basically blew up Captain America's uniform, and Captain America, like, he did feel it, but he still won the fight. You know, he like survived, or he didn't get knocked out by the explosion, and he, you know, took out Gambit in a punch. So I disagreed with that. I feel like if you blow up something Captain America's wearing, he's gonna feel it a little bit more than that. But yeah,
also, if you blow up Captain America's like uniform, right? His face is still
yeah,
so like if this bit explodes, this bit's gonna feel something.
yeah. So basically, what
Right.
happened is Captain America was wearing a tattered uniform and looking kind of like winded, and basically said like something pithy, and then punched Gambit in the face. But it was
Disagree.
Avengers versus X-Men in the 2010s. You know, they weren't winning.
Everybody's favorite storyline. So that could happen again, and this time Gambit could win.
He's just going around blowing everyone's clothes up.
What do you think about Gambit?
I don't think he could beat Captain America, but I think
Oh.
he's a good shout for this, I guess.
I guess.
We got to whittle it down to 16 from 21, so...
Okay. All right, John.
It's your final pick.
Is this the last pick?
This is the very last pick.
Pick Moon Knight.
I can't really go for Moon Knight, but I'll go for Luke Cage instead.
Okay.
He's like another street level guy, but he's got super strength and he's got like an impenetrable skin as well. So I think that would give him some sort of edge in a lot of fights. But yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Why Luke Cage over the Thing?
That is interesting. There is no Fantastic Four representation here.
I did not consider the Thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
Just liked him.
Fair enough.
You'll have to get more complicated than that. Now, here we go. Headband and yellow blouse, or no?
Yeah, you'd have to. He has to wear the tiara.
Yep.
Yeah, needs a headband. 100%.
All right, so that is 21 names. Dylan, you want to run through those before we start the arduous process of whittling it down to 16?
Yes. So, our list at the moment is Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Scarlet Witch, Deadpool, Storm, Black Bolt, Nate Gray, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Rogue, Black Panther, Daredevil, Domino, The Punisher, Penance, Gambit, and Luke Cage with the headband.
All right, so how this will work is I think we just go through the list from start to bottom, and it's yay or nay. And if it's not unanimous, they go into the maybe pile at that point. I feel like we already have some in the maybe pile for sure, but this way we have some decorum. All right, so
Okay.
Iron Man. That would be a yes for me.
Yep.
Yay.
All right, Spider-Man. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Wolverine. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Captain America. Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot I was first.
Yep.
The Hulk. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Thor.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Scarlet Witch. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Deadpool. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Storm. Yes.
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 Okay.
Black Bolt. No.
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 All right.
Let you go.
X-Man. I'm gonna say no.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put him in the maybe
He's
pile.
in the maybe pile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Black Bolt's not because there was no votes for Black Bolt.
Three unanimous. No for
Yes.
Black Bolt.
Captain Marvel. Yes.
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 Doctor Strange. Yes.
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 Rogue.
Real tension building.
Rogue. Yes.
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 Okay.
Black Panther. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's in the maybe.
He's in the
pile.
maybe pile.
Daredevil. Yes.
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 Domino, yes.
Yes.
Mm, yes.
Yay!
The Punisher, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, maybe Pile.
Penance, yes.
No.
No.
Gambit,
Maybe Pile.
yes.
Yes.
Mm, yes.
You're the real villain of this podcast.
All right, Luke Cage, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so Dylan, how many are still on the list that we got all yeses? Because if it's more than 16, then all the ones in the maybe pile are automatically eliminated.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
We have exactly 16.
Really?
Yep.
Holy shit, that worked.
4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Exactly 16.
Perfect. All right, you want to run down? This is the official Marvel quadrant of the Smart Avengers bracket. Marvel Heroes bracket. Here we go. Go for it, Dylan.
You ready?
Yes.
Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Scarlet Witch, Deadpool, Storm, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Rogue, Daredevil, Domino, Gambit, and Luke Cage with the headband.
All right, well.
I am super. You have no idea how happy I am that Domino got in over Black Panther or the Punisher. Like,
It was just,
oh my
she's
God.
just unique, man. She's just unique. I love that. All right, so I think that's going to be part 1 of this process. What we'll do is we're going to take those names. We're going to put them in a randomizer, and that's going to determine the first round matches of that bracket. So there will be no sense of order. It won't be the order they were picked. It's going to be completely random. So next episode, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go Marvel villains, which I feel like might be a little harder. But that's next episode. All right, but John watches a lot of movies per year. He probably is up in the 800s at this point. You'll listen to the next episode and hear for sure. But John, where can they see your reviews of all these movies you watch?
They can go to Letterboxd and find me at Big John Bowski, all one word.
Dylan, what do you get up to during the week?
I do a radio show every Monday nights at 9 o'clock UK time, from 9 to 11 on bouncedigitalradio.co.uk. You can listen to it wherever you are in the world. Just make sure that you adjust your clock so it shows UK time, aka the correct time. And you'll be able to listen in if you go to the link on your web browser. The link should be in the description below. We play all sorts of music, like Beck and Pearl Jam and some type of Pilots, and a lot of like random stuff that you might not have heard before, because I really like showing off new music that doesn't always get played in the radio. Been playing a lot of local Belfast bands, so if you want to hear what Belfast is up to these days, check out the show. You'll hear some cool bands like Winona Bleach. They're great. And then sometimes I stream on Twitch to draw some little animations at Spooky LaRue. I'm actually drawing one. It'll be finished, ironically, by the time this episode goes up, about the Joker. I'm so happy about it. That animation should be up by the time you watch this. So check out Spooky LaRue on Twitch, or Team Crows, I think, is our YouTube page where our animation is going to go up. There'll be a link for that down too.
Perfect. I have another show called Large Old Cup, where I just kind of talk about whatever is going on. And I also have a writing project called Henry's Usual, and maybe some other stuff by the time this is up. Links to all that is in the description as well. So join us next week as we give the Marvel villains the same treatment, where we try to select 16 Marvel villains that will go into this tournament and represent the evil side of the Marvel Universe. But until then, we'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.